Hi there, it's Pete. I'm back. I got my motor out. Looks kind of goofy sitting there on the little trolley. Anyway, I want to show you what I did. I've done a lot of work. And I made a pretty big mess. There is fiberglass all over the place. All right. Okay. So I took the drive off last night. I took the engine out. That's the intermediate housing. I couldn't figure out how to take the steering cable off, so I just kind of left that sitting over there on the side, which is fine. Nothing's kinked. It's okay. I wanted to show you what I found. Oh, let me have a seat. And a light. Where's my light? I'm sitting on my light. Okay. So the transom, as you can probably tell, is just rotten. See? Look at this. Just pulling apart. So that's gross. But the weird thing is, the rot, first of all, is only on the bottom of the transom, only extends across the bottom. And down there was 20 years of oil and water and rotten wood and just complete nasty down there. But as you work up on this transom, it starts to get solid. You can kind of see my random cuts with my grinding wheel. I couldn't even get that fiberglass off. That wood is still in pretty good shape. And here's the other strange thing. This piece of wood that is the transom only extends to here. And it just goes across. It doesn't even go all the way up to the top. And then goes down behind the stringers and across the bottom. That's the transom. There's other pieces of wood that are just kind of in there for, I don't know, emotional support. But there's a gap between the transom wood and these pieces. These pieces are, they're a little wet, but they're not rotten. I can cut those out and replace those at a later date if I want to. I don't even have to have the engine out to get to those. So it's only this one piece. Now that tells me a couple of things. First of all, this boat is not designed to use a Merc, because I don't think that would be enough for a Merc. I think if you're going to put a Merc on it, you have to have the real, transom that goes all the way across, left to right, top to bottom, and that's what I thought I was dealing with. Turns out I'm only dealing with this piece. Now I'll have to get my Dremel up there and cut that out to get the rest of this out, but I don't know. I think it can be done. If I can do it without damaging the skin of the boat, I'm going to consider it. The other day I was all about just pulling the engine out and saying screw it, throw it away. But I wanted to take another look, spend a couple hours today looking at it, and here it is. So also, here's my engine mounts, completely rotten through and through. There's no good wood there at all. I mean, this is it's just disgusting. It's gross. I was able to pull out hoses all over the place. One engine mount that was kind of intact. It was still very much rotten. It's not like I'm going to reuse it or anything. But the point of this was to show me how it was made. And the engine mounts were just, looks like maybe 6x4 beams, with a couple layers of half-inch plywood under them, and a little piece of 1x or 2x or whatever that is to make up for the tilt of the hull. So that shows me how they were made. And these things were just kind of stapled together. In fact, they were kind of toe-nailed in to the bulkhead here with a couple little staples set right down on the floor and glassed over. Now the glass is real thick. I mean, that's about a 1/4 inch thick fiberglass that these whole things were surrounded with and glassed in. So, lost my light. And those two pieces were put together with a piece of plywood, and that whole assembly was just set up here, kind of toe-nailed into place and glassed over when the floor was on. So that's the extent of how those were made. That doesn't seem too sturdy, but I mean, it doesn't seem sturdy enough, but I guess it is, because it held for a long, long time. Anyway, oh, the other interesting thing I confirmed. There's the transom, or the this is the stringer. I can put my little crowbar behind here. It's completely hollow, all the way around. Stringers are absolutely hollow. Look at this transom. Look at this. I'm just peeling this away. Look at that. Ah, yuck. Oh, that's nasty. Anyway, I could spend all day doing this, but stringers are completely hollow. So the stringers are never going to rot on this boat, and those side pieces of wood may rot eventually. Those side pieces on the transom may rot eventually. I'm pretty sure I don't even care. You can see little holes I cut with a hole saw as I was sampling. There's one, there's a couple over there. I just wanted to get, there's a couple there. I just used a hole saw because I wanted to get a better picture than just a tiny little drill bit. So the tiny little drill bit told me there was rot, but I wanted to, you know, cut holes in it to see what the extent of the rot was. And as I moved up, as you can see, the wood got cleaner, and as I moved outboard, the wood got cleaner. So it's just this one piece. That's kind of interesting. And those motor mounts are nothing special. I now suddenly don't feel so worried about repairing this if I decide to repair it. It certainly wasn't made with any technology that I can't reproduce. Yeah, so anyway, this obviously can't be used with a Merc. I'd have to cut out that whole, all this weirdness, every bit of transom there, and do the entire thing like a big boy boat. This, I'm going to have to put the OMC back in. This just, I mean, a Merc just won't work. I don't think. I mean, unless I maybe put some gussets. Nah, well, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be safe for a Merc. I'll post this, I'll let some people comment on it and see what they say. I would like to put in a Merc. If I had to replace the transom, I may as well close it all up and put in a drive that was made sometime in this century. But that's maybe a discussion for another day. So anyway, I've got a pretty big mess to clean up, and I've got to go have dinner at my mom-in-law's house in about 2 hours. So I got to clean up my boat, clean up the garage, clean up myself, and I think I better get started on that now. Anyway, just wanted to share what I found. I also took up the floor all the way to the back, and the piece on this side from about here all the way to the back. If I decide to do this, I'll take the rest of the floor, once I clean it up of course, and go from there. Oh, the other thing, I also found out, this is my intermediate housing. I found out why I couldn't keep oil in there, why my oil level kept going down. That thing has its own oil reservoir. The reason why that was so soaked was because my seal is leaking. That's the inner seal. This is where the engine mounts, and that seal is leaking like crazy. So while I have that out, again, if I decide to repair, I'm going to of course replace that seal and whatever else I can do to that intermediate housing to finish it up. But anyway, that's what I got. Slightly more encouraging than the other day. Still, we're talking about a lot of work. And I'm not 100% certain that I want to do it, but I'm not 100% certain I'm going to trash it. Okay, well, here it is, May in Colorado, and it's snowing in May. Okay, I'm done complaining. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.